you read the title right, and we're sliding our behinds back into the world of Amorous, because apparently there's females now. Nor do I remember the visual novel clearly. I'll cover every character's route, finding out which character is the sexiest, and quick hint, it's me. I've already ran the polls, and yes, I know what you're thinking. Why does your vote not count? And because your opinion doesn't matter. Why? Because you didn't play this game to 100%. Tell me, do you have that achievement on your Steam account? No, of course not. Your dad sure wouldn't love you no more if you played Amorous and he saw that on your Steam. Playing the main character, you are an adopted unemployed college graduate who's introduced to Club Amorous and its playable routes. To start one of these dates, you will choose from one of the 8 characters to speak to, playing quick multiple choice question games to see if the character has any interest. Immediately, you're given their phone number and the date begins. Focusing on Kobe first, this loud, adorable, gay outgoing bird establishes himself as your stepbrother at the beginning. Kobe will soon go on to speak about his breakup with his boyfriend and invites you to go to Amorous. Getting to the club, Kobe is just a click away to ending with a bed scene, and that pretty much sums up his whole route. There's not much content of Kobe, as the story doesn't really start you off with a more personal place or an apartment to live at, so in every character's route you'll be bothered by Kobe, but maybe you're into that kind of stuff. Seth, as you know, is an adorable green and white striped feline whom is a writer and keeps his writing materials on the go for inspiration. Very well, you can tell he is shy, intelligent, and engages with the player by taking their suggestions for storylines. Chatting with Seth, you make plans to meet up tomorrow at a local library. Nick Kovac, a publisher there, will be reading his books aloud as you decide to get a signed book for Seth after the event before the two of you meet up at a local coffee shop to help with his writing insight. If we're also lucky, we might also see Aster working behind the counter since this is a Starbucks. Talking about Seth's hobbies, you take steps forward on helping him on his writing career, before handing on the signed book to Seth, as he gets- Oh no, get off me, no, stop that, it's a coffee shop. Seth will soon later on finish writing his rough draft, to now wanting to having it published, and having a connection to someone really helps on moving forward. So who better than to ask Nick? He decides to look over Seth's rough draft and would offer up showing his publisher, making both Seth and you excited. Ooh, I'm excited. Excited to end this game. Seth decides to celebrate this step at his apartment to set the mood. You enjoy some good romantic food, music, and cough, wonderful views out on the apartment window that for some reason every character route has, to quickly wrapping up this story. The two of you do it before the independency agency calls and they're like, oh my gosh, Seth's rough draft, yeah, come into the apartment at 1, and the scene ends quick, it's just done. So as you can see, these dates are pretty fast and short, very mellow, and seem to have a set system of an intro, break, build up, and climax. Not my kind of taste for a romance novel, but hey, who's next? Jax is a blue, yellow lizard and bartender for Club Amorous. When meeting him behind the bar, Jax will act enthusiastic with a tendency to show off, which will lead him to several warnings from the manager. Calling him the next day, he is wide awake, excited out of his slumber to speak, deciding for the two of you to make plans at a local coffee shop for brunch. Arriving there, oh, look at that adorable Aster boy over by the counter. We can talk about Jack's life and how being in the spotlight wears him down, helping him to feel more comfortable that you're not just forwarding yourself. After the little snack, you decide to hit the matinee to catch a showing. Jax and the player will laugh and enjoy some one-to-one time together, even giving him a little hug at the end for some well-time spent. Coming home, Kobe is just so eager to see how your date went, will come pounding down before you can say, I need a shower. At 10 p.m., Jax will call to talk about work and things before getting cut off. Since I'm already awake, I'll just head over there now and pick up a burger for him. Arriving on Jack's break, you enjoy a meal together while he chats about his past boyfriend Zach, who didn't want him working at Amorous and forcing him to get fired from his job after the breakup. Days go by and interviews roll in to get a job, making it harder for the player to visit Jax because of your scheduling. So you make time to head out to Amorous. Getting there, you already find Jax in a very sticky situation of spilling those bottles again. causing Jax to get fired from his job before running out of those back doors. You quickly go to comfort him as he breaks down crying and bursting in rage. But having you there helps settle Jax down. This allows you to head home with Jax to catch some shut-eye together, at his apartment. The scene will soon end on you waking up the next morning to have a picnic that is planned for the third date. As things get spicy, what are we doing in this picnic? Okay, following up with Dustin, after having an argument with his boyfriend who just had stormed off, will approach you with his predator calls. Get away from me. I am but a humble piece of bread. Stop! Dustin will socialize with the player with a tactic to rather have his body all over you. Very much cringe, yes. I know, but he does have a rather softer and controllable vibe when he's not all try-hard. Another thing about this lying is he's very sensitive to words, so be careful what you say. I don't need you offending him and having him— Oh, look what you did. You did that. You did— Wow. Calling up Dustin in the morning, you decide to take him up on that offer as he invites you to the movies. Him being the film goer will meet you at the movie theater to grab some popcorn before heading over to the showing, getting them snuggles, hot buttery fingers, and large refreshing soda. Ah, what could go wrong? Heading out to Dustin's apartment— Oh wait, that was fast. You'll find his ex-boyfriend blankly tattling while picking up his things and leaving the key behind. Oh, there she goes. Bye, Felicia. You know what, Dustin? I'm gonna head home. I don't think this is, this is a little weird. The next day, planned by Dustin, who knows of a good private spot out by the beach, throws you into his car to have some fun in the sun. With the beating rays on top of you, those cozy warm vibes as you snuggle-wuggle into the sand. Oh, the warm sensation tingling down your spine with a nice fuzzy fur all over your body roll. Dustin will go on to explain about the spot on the beach and the memories he has made, wanting to get away from it all and start things fresh. The day soon ends. Dustin will soon come by to pick you up, driving you away back to the same beach location with a new car, after selling his old one for the reasoning of wanting to start anew and not end up with his ex-boyfriend desperately trying to seduce Dustin to come back with him using his old car. Arriving at the beach and still chatting about situations, Dustin wanted to take things a step further into a stable relationship with the player. Lewd scene happens and it ends. Speaking to Skye, brought by her friends to get her more out of the house, is very much into cosplay. She is a young fox fresh out of the high school. She'll decide to bring you to the mall with her to go help shopping for some cosplay costumes. Ooh. Don't worry, I like going shopping too, but when they stop putting measurements on men's clothing, there's something wrong. As Skye goes to put on her clothes, you end up talking to some ladies that put you in a weird predicament. They're your classmates and they just love to argue with you. Skye soon comes out and sees these two wonderful ladies just being very, very obnoxious, making Skye very flustered and angry. You then decide to take Skye out for some coffee to calm her down. The next morning, you head out to a costume convention after Skye suggested dragging you along. Arriving, you search for Skye, and luckily enough, there's this adorable, cute, I'm not too sure what character this is. Digimon, Pokemon, Pick Yu-Gi-Oh! That's it! Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what this thing's from. Anyways, meeting Lux's friend dressed up as a Vmon will bring you over to Skye dressed up as Lucario. And to be honest, I didn't really recognize her at first, till I looked at her nose. Very distinct nose she's got there. Still a good costume though.
No offense, but first place is heading my way. Hey! Drox, make sure you talk about my good side.
Either way, the con experience is very enjoyable as Skye friends head off to get a group photo. After the con, you visit Skye's place and she's got a little secret for you. Can you guess what it is? She's upset that basically she dyes her fur and then sex scene happens. So guys, do you see the pattern with these routes? No? Anyway, Skye's route's pretty good. It's fun. It's better than most. The bunny you see here is Remy, 32 years of age, working part-time as a restaurant teacher for a local college. Meeting her at the club, she'll ask the player an offer to gain intel on Riptide, who's a lifeguard at Amorous. Speaking to Riptide, you tell Remy the information she needs to know about what's on the lifeguard's mind, and she takes you on to that offer that you will proceed to the first date the next day. Heading off to the aquarium to see the fishy-wishy mushies, and the musky whiskies. Ooh. Seeing all of the exhibits, only to find Riptide there to bother the two of you and ruin the mood, you suggest a more quieter place. Where are we gonna find a more quieter place, guys? Come on now, we got a lot of writers up in here. Oh, a matter of fact, the coffee shop. Yeah, the coffee shop. I couldn't think of anything more better than a freaking coffee shop to put in this game. Day 2, Remy invites you to one of her cooking classes. Making it to the college campus and finding the kitchen, you meet up with Veldir, one of Remy's friends who approves of the player. Watching Remy teach, and last but not least, the final date. Good hyena boy, Veldir got tickets for you to go to the spa and bang. Woo! I love Veldir. Veldir's like the best character. They should have just did I want to date Veldir over here. Next is Mercy. She's drunk when you first meet her at the club. While flirting with her, she'll soon later hand over her business card before heading off. Mercy can barely remember who you are, but she still takes you up on that offer for a nice hike and a picnic. Your third date is a very delicious restaurant, and the final day, you meet up with her at one of her art galleries she was talking about during the hiking. And last but not least, surprise, surprise, she takes you home for some pineapple. Lex you meet out in the back of Amorous as they're waiting for someone inside because they don't really understand the whole stick of meeting new people at the club. But Lex does have a curiosity of meeting new people and hoping to find romance. They'll then hand over their phone number and choose the next meetup to, at a local bar, something new, thank God it wasn't a coffee shop, to play a quick game called Truth or Dare, or basically just get drunk and ask questions. The next day is breaking into an abandoned building, very romantic, of course, man, anything. As the security guard chases you out of the abandoned building, and then like the last scene's a camp scene and you have more pineapple at the end. Zenith is a security guard working for Amorous. He'll rope you into a discussion with another member of the club, either that being intentional or in his interest in you. After the situation, Zenith will offer up you a drink that you just can't refuse and hand over his number. Ooh, spicing up, okay. Following up the next day to go visit Zenith at the shooting range and are again forced to play a mini game, but this one is kind of fun. Bumping into Jason, coming up to Zenith to thank him for saving his life in a car accident, will then hand over some flowers. This will lead the player to be more curious about the dragon's life. The next day you have a picnic to enjoy the fun in the sun with Zenith, as he calls you cute. Ew, gross, come on now. Eating with the Big Durg, you talk about Cringe and Zenith's past, about giving up being a cop and now ending up as a bouncer for Amorous because of a mistake he had on getting his partner killed. The day goes on as the two of you open up more before Zenith has to head out to work. The next day you head out with Zenith to the flower shop to get flowers for his partner as Zenith gets a set for you. And the day will soon end with you heading over to your house for some cuddles, snuggles, and I don't need to go into the details, do I? Alright. And that concludes Amorous. So my thoughts on who's the best character is not really going to be in my opinion. It's going to be more of the person's taste, since each character is very unique and they're very interesting in their own way, so I'm not really going to even bother with it. If I do have to say which one was more interesting, it was either this one, that one, or this one. I don't know their names. I forgot already. Anyways, I enjoyed coming back to this, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video of watching me play this Cringe once more again, yes. And come back to see our newest videos of when I'm actually going to upload anything. Never, no, stop, slap, get out of here.